All right, now let's look at example 3. First, before we do so, we're going to look at some key trigonometric values of special angles. If we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, that means a 30 degree by 60 degree by 90 degree. Check it, 30, 60, 90. There are some special relationships. The shortest length, no matter what it is, let's say if x is 5, then the hypotenuse, the longest length, will be 2 times 5, or 10. It will always be double the short. As well as the medium size will be the square root of 3 times the length of the short. That'll always be true. If it's a 45, 45, 90, we'll not only do two angles match, but the two side lengths, the two legs, will also match, though x and the y value will be equal. The hypotenuse will be the square root of 2 times those lengths. So here's a picture, and here is this chart showing you the sine values of each of these. So if it's a 30, 60, 90, the sine of 30, 60, and 90 here, you would have a length of 1 over 2 because it's y over h. So if it's a 30 degree, you'd have 1 over, because if you think about it, x divided by 2x, simply put, the x's go away, and you're left with, you'd put 1 on the numerator since nothing's up there, it'd be 1/2. And that's where they get these values. So this is just a chart, just a kind of cheat sheet to help you out. But for a while, we'll just practice rather than going back to the chart. You can use it if you like, but we'll just kind of go from here. So let's find the missing side lengths of this x. Now, you'll see here that this is not one of those trick opportunities. It's not a 30, 60, 90, nor is it a 45, 45, 90. This would be a 35, a 90, and if we needed to find that other side, you could subtract. Well, I know it's going to be just 90 minus 35 because you have a 180. You take away this 90 here, and that leaves us with 90. So these two had to add up to 90. You take away the 35, and we find out that this one is a 55 degree angle here. Now, why does that matter? Because if we're going to use psi y cos x, tangent is y over x, you're always going to use the angle on the x-axis. That's the only way it works. So now that I have that, I can say, okay, I'm looking for this side length here, which this is a y value, and I'm given an h. So which trig function uses y over h? Psi y cos x, tangent is y over x. Well, that'd be sine. So sine of, and I'm going to use this angle down here on the x-axis, 55 degrees will equal the y value, which we're looking for, over the h value, which is 7. I'm one step away from solving. As long as you put your unknown in the numerator, you're always just one step away. What's my one step? I multiply by 7. So if I want to know what y is, I'm just going to type in 7 times sine of 55 degrees. Now, on our calculators, something you need to know is that they can be in either mode. We're going to find out there's a thing called radians, and we don't know if our calculator's in what kind of radians or degrees it's in. So because we don't know, when I type in this 55, I'm not going to press enter. I'm going to go over here by the pi button, and you'll see the degree symbol. As long as I type it in as I have it written on the paper, it'll always give me the correct answer in the calculator. The length is 5.73. Now, what I'm not sure of is what my mode is on my calculator. I'll take a guess. I'm going to delete the degrees. Okay, so my calculator is in what's called degree mode. But sometimes your mode could be different, and I think you go from the home screen to change it. Over here in settings, we could be, yeah, see how it says degree? Well, now if I was in radian, let me show you what would happen to my answer. I'm going to go back to where I was. If I would type this in this way, and now it gives me a different answer. So you can see that you must always type in, it just helps if you press that symbol right there, no matter what mode we're in. Right now we're in radians, but it'll still give me the right answer because I use the degree button. So you always want to make sure you include the degree when you use the calculator with this. So my answer, according to this, is 5.734. So here we got y equals 5.734. It says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So they actually used the letter x, so I'm going to, though I have it y there, I'll put an x here. X equals 5.7, and that would be your answer. Now you go ahead and try this problem. See if you can come up with a value.